In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust, as the Republic of Intellect. The real 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the mentalists. Amen to all of my mentalist brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Intellect, and to all future mentalists who have yet to find their way home to the Republic of Intellect, which is Amen's community. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you, and Amenic language by saying to you, Amen. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ, and this is Mentellect Radio. And tonight we're going to be discussing the difference between community leaders and cult leaders. You know, as one who has been accused of being a cult leader myself, I said, no, I always had to correct people. I am not a cult leader. The word cult, I said, is short for culture, and also the word cult is short for occult. Occult, O-C-C-U-L-T, occult, as in dealing with dark forces, magic, religion, basically Satanism and Luciferianism. That's what a cult leader is. A person who deals in religion, a person who deals in belief. That's what a cult leader is. A cult leader is one who converts people by way of belief. A community leader converts people by way of thought, by way of thinking. That's how community leaders, the followers of a community leader are the followers of a person who is about bringing people together based on thinking, on thought. The cult leader brings people together based on belief. I'll prove it to you. All the so-called cult leaders out here that the white man reports, from Jim Jones, who else? Jim Jones. Name some more cult leaders. They said Dr. York, my mentor, and whatever. They said a lot of cult leaders out there, right? They said all of that, right? They say who else they put out there, right? They call these people cult leaders, right? Now, a cult leader always has something. The one who they said his people had the Nikes on when they killed themselves or whatever the case is? What's that guy? What's the guy who had Heaven's Gate cult? What's the name of that guy? Anybody know his name? The Heaven's Gate guy? All right. Well, if I see it in my chat room, I'm showing you what I'm talking about with this. That guy with the Heavens, most of those organizations, right? What they have is all one thing in common, right? They all have one thing in common, and that is religion. They believe in, and they preach about a God and a devil, or good and evil. That's what they preach. They preach about a God and a devil, a good and an evil, polar opposite beings who are at war for your spirit. This is what they teach. That is occultism. That is witchcraft and Luciferianism. That is Satanism and Luciferianism. All so-called cults are based on that. They're based on getting you to believe, and it's all based on religion. You ain't gonna find no cults based on thinking. You know how you know that? Because one of the things the cult leaders always say is, see, this person is brainwashing the people, meaning that they are trying to control the minds of the people. How do you control the minds of the people? You get them to believe stuff. You tell them things and you get them to believe things. You see, that's how you brainwash people. You psychologically, listen to the word that so-called cult busters and the psychologists listen, they're psychologists. You psychologically get people to believe things. You mess with their psyche. You feed them things that don't make sense. Jesus, God, the devil's underground, the angels and God is on the clouds. There's a war for your soul. This, that, and the third. Basically a bunch of beliefs. A bunch of things that are misunderstood, or a bunch of spiritually watered down beliefs. This is what they get you to believe in. They want you to go against your natural psyche, your natural logical thinking, by introducing psychological ways of thinking, things that work counter your logical way of thinking. You see, that's what a belief is. A belief is an idea that gets you to work against your logical way of thinking, to work in opposite of or in opposition to that, to get you to work in opposition to your logical way of thinking, which is natural. That's what cult leaders do. You see, that's why they say, oh, they got to go through a whole thing of brainwashing and this, that, and the third. And of course, they got to give the God and the devil otherworldly spiritual thing. Right? Now, ever since I've been teaching, all I've ever did was give my people things to think about. I've never given you anything to believe. I want my people to tell me, have I ever given y'all anything or any of my people things that they could not logically think about, even if it was a stretch in your thinking? If you think about it logically, everything I've always said, even futuristically, makes sense. You can see it transitioning into that. Right or wrong? You see? You can see everything I've always given was based in logic. It was never based in belief. Nothing I ever gave to my people and what I taught was ever based in belief. I never taught about no belief in no God, no devil. I said that's a thing of these people here in this society that they push as part of the occultist teaching. That's the reality. You see, we're not a part of that. I never taught my people about no pie in the sky and we got to die in the hereafter. I never taught my people that. I said we transitioning into a future world, which is happening. It happens. That's reality. I taught my people that Amen represents us in the future state. We are all a part of the body of Amen, the elect, and we are transformed in the three-dimensional realm into physical form, but our higher Amenic selves, our higher Amen selves, our extended or future selves through our children, through our bloodline, and through us as we continue forward and we come forward again, that is us in the future. That is an advanced version of us. That's what I teach. That's logical. Because with each generation, you're supposed to evolve into something greater. You're supposed to. However, the elect are going to evolve in the fourth dimension. A complete understanding of who they are. Now, again, that's not belief. Evolution is real. People evolve. People grow. People evolve and people grow. And certain people just, change and move, change and they go off of emotion. They happy one minute, they sad the next. They move in that circle of emotion. You got certain people that do that. Those are the people who join cults. Those are the people who join cults. The people who move off of happiness and sadness. You see, they need a belief to sustain them. They need a belief to sustain them. The reality is not enough for them. The reality is too real, and the reality is too linear and focused. You see, those people who can think like that are thinkers. They are visionaries. That's the type of people I want with me. Now, true, have I gotten people that were believers who joined the Republican mental and not thinkers? Of course. Of course we've attracted some religious-minded, two-dimensional black people in here. Of course we have. Did I call these people to come? Absolutely not. I don't want no believers following me. I said this from the foundation of the Republican mental. I don't want no religious people following me. I don't want no spiritual people following me. I don't want no three-dimensional people following me or two-dimensional. I want people who are open to receive from the fourth dimension, which is the future. The future us, the advanced us. Now, if that's not what you are, if that's not who you can't see yourself growing into that, or you're not in alignment with that, then don't be around. See, a cult leader try to get you to believe in things that are impossible, that don't make sense, that they're illogical. I have never presented anything that wasn't logical. You see, and that's the real reason why they don't push me on YouTube. They don't push me on YouTube because I make too much sense, more sense than they're willing to admit. They can't really promote me as a cult leader because I don't teach about Jesus Christ. I don't teach about the devil. I don't teach about God. I don't teach about religion. I know it for what it is. See, the people who would really be considered cult leaders, the ones who are out here, who are promoting God and the devil and religion, the Christians, the Muslims, the Israelites, or the Jews, the so-called Jews, Christians, and the Muslims, they all are cult leaders. Those are cult leaders. Those are cult leaders. Because they are promoting their occult. They are promoting a cult, which is Luciferianism and Satanism, but they fooling y'all and calling it religion. They fool y'all and call it religion. You see, they fool y'all and call it religion when it's really Satanism and Luciferianism. You see, that's all that is. And you think they really mean was Jesus, you know, and all. No. Those are a bunch of Greco-Babylonian half man, half animal gods. That's all that is. That's all you being taught to worship. See, that's belief. That's what cult leaders do. Your ministers, your reverends, your imams, all of them, they're cult leaders. Every last single one of them. If you are a religious leader, you are a cult leader. You are in the occult, because that's all religion is. It's part of the occult. No different than satanic worship. You understand? It's all the same thing. Now, again, we don't preach Satanism. We don't teach Satanism. I know what it is. I know what Luciferianism is. But we don't subscribe to that. We subscribe to the higher mind, the advanced mind, the thinking mind. That's what makes the Republican Mentellect different from any so-called black organization, because all your black organizations are based in occultism. I'm going to just say it like that. Belief. All your so-called black organizations were based in occultism. Belief. You see? I'm going to just put it like that. I'm not naming no name. I'm going to just say it just like that. They was never based on thinking. Or if they was based on thinking, it was more belief and less thinking. That's how you could get handed down at being a cult leader. And again, a lot of these white, like reverends and ministers, they cult leaders too. You see? They teach the occult. They push culture. They push belief. See, this is like a mental country club. Our community is a mental country club. You know? It's a mind group. It's a mind academy. We are thinkers here. We're not believers. See, cult leaders got to raise believers. They got to get you to believe in an idea, because they know most people want a fantasy or an escape. That's what most people want, especially the people that join religion. They want a fantasy, right? They want an escape. That's why, Creflo Dollar, these people are cult leaders, man. You see? These people want an escape. So they'll hear about the angels and Jesus and God love everybody, and the devil is always all this other nonsense. This occultist nonsense, right? They'll preach all that, happy Christian, this, that, and the third, and the devil is bad, and this, that, blah, blah, blah. But happiness and sadness, whether you know it or not, happiness and sadness are nothing but another way in this three-dimensional world of saying Lucifer and Satan. That's what happiness and sadness is. Lucifer represents happy, and Satan represents sad. That's really what that is, those polarities. See, so it's easy if you are pulling people into a structure that's based on polarity of God and the devil, good and evil, happiness and sadness. Again, then that's what makes a cult leader a cult leader. You see, that's what makes a cult leader a cult leader. You see, that's what that is. And again, there's nothing wrong with showing loyalty. There's nothing wrong with that. But what are you showing loyalty to? You're showing loyalty to a bunch of beliefs, things that are not part of your extended mind or your extensive mind, because everyone, the whole point of coming here is to extend yourself mentally and to align yourself with people who are extending themselves mentally, not to be in a bunch of goddamn people who are a bunch of believers who thinking in a circle, or should I say believing in a circle, a bunch of circular ritualistic things that they really don't even follow or live by. You see, that's all an act. A lot of these people on the planet Earth are acting, man. They acting. They playing roles, but they just playing lesser roles, lower roles. See, we, as the elect, as the thinking ones, because in every society, I don't care, every time period, there's always going to be an advanced thinking class of people, advanced thinking class of people. For the so-called white man in this day and time, it's the Illuminati. It's the illuminated ones. It's his Central Intelligence Agency. They got their think tanks, but there's going to be those type of people all over the world on different levels. But see, now the bronze man and bronze woman is being raised up through this level of intellect. Our people are being raised up to that higher state of thinking. See, they don't really want an ideology. See, they will, as the elites in the society, they would rather you follow a religion, right, a philosophy, rather than an ideology. They want you to follow a philosophy which is based in belief. Jesus, Christ, all that's nothing but philosophical belief. All of that. All that's nothing but Greco-Roman philosophical Babylonian belief. Jesus, Allah, Jehovah, all that's moon gods. Right? So they want you to follow psychological belief. That's what they want you to follow. Things that work against your logical way of thinking. Things that make you not question what they're trying to lie to you about, aka get you to believe in. See, they don't want you to think past that. They don't want you to, they rather you have a psychological belief instead of an ideological or ideological thought process. A thought process of ideology. They rather you have a philosophy than an ideology, because when you got an ideology, an idea about something, that means you are thinking about something. It's not in a cult leader's best interest to have people that think in his organization. That's not in their best interest. They don't want people that think. They want people that believe. Believers are good sheep. You see, thinkers are a danger to a cult leader. I always encourage my people, the foundation of the Republic of Intellect is thinking. That's what mental elect is. Those who are mentally elect, who are chosen to think on a higher level, to make the mental list. We encourage our people, the foundation, the highest point, down from the top point down to the foundation, to be thinkers, man. Ain't no believers here. They're thinkers. They're here because they resonate with what's coming through me as pure thought. It resonates with them because they're not believers. Those who follow me, follow Amen, follow this transmission of Amen, as I'm following this transmission of Amen, are thinkers. This is a fourth dimensional think tank that's being formed. This ain't no goddamn religious cult or no religious belief. This is a fourth dimensional think tank that's being formed. Raw and uncut. This is a fourth dimensional think tank that's being contrived and brought together by the higher dimensions of who we are. We're being pulled into the fourth dimension. That's why Mentellect came at this time, to gather the elect, the mentally elect, to wake up the mentally elect and separate the ones who are going to be the thinkers from the believers, because the ones who are going to be the believers, those are going to be the ones following the cult leaders in these last days and times, black, white, East Indian, whoever the hell they are, Asian, whoever's promoting religion, occultism, all that cultural nonsense. Those are the ones who are going to be promoting occultism. We don't promote that. I never promoted that. I never promote belief. If, like I said, I give this transmission logically as I can, so that the thinking person can just break it down in their mind and see that it makes sense and resonates with them. It's so simple that even a child can receive that if they are meant to receive it. But if you simple-minded now, if you just two-dimensional and you simple-minded, oh well, it ain't for you. You see, that's another sign of a person who is a community leader, because a community leader is exclusive. He knows who and what he wants in his community, or the people want in their community, and those who they don't want in their community. Like when you go to these white neighborhoods and whatnot, these white communities, what do they have? Don't these white people have exclusive communities? And in certain parts of America, black people got exclusive enclaves and communities and whatnot, where they got money. So when you have a community, you are basically excluding people that you don't want to be a part of your community. You exclude people. That's what a community does. A community leader wants a community that excludes certain people from joining. They have standards. See, a cult don't got no standards. They'll take anybody as long as you give money. As long as you give money, as long as you ready to serve them any kind of way. They don't care what you do or what you was or who you are. You see, they don't care about that. You just a body to make money. They'll take anybody. That's why in the church you can come as you are. You ain't no rules in here. We all sinners, and we all trying to find our way. All that BS, as an excuse to keep doing what they doing. You understand? Which is being degenerates. So it's like I said, you just a body. You're just a body. That's all. When you in a cult, you're just a body that brings money to the leader. That's all you are. Now, if you are in a community, you are an asset because you are a thinker. A community leader looks at people in the community as assets, people that can bring the community up, raise the community up. That's how a community leads. And he knows that the community can only be raised up by having the best people in you, and you have to have law and order in a community. There has to be law and order. There has to be real solid law and order. Not like these fake communities where law and order is you got to wear a beard on your face. Okay, why? You got to have fringes on your garment. Why? Or your woman can't, your woman such and such, whatever. Why? See, they don't want you to ask why. Why ask why, according to them? They don't want you to ask why. Just do as we say, no matter if it don't make sense or not. Everything I tell my people, I tell you for a reason. I tell you everything for a reason. And you understand, or should I say you understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I always going to explain it. Then if at the end you don't understand why I say what I say, then I always ask you to question me why. Ask why, and I'll tell you. Simple as that. Cult leaders don't do that. They say that, and they say what it is. You either believe it, you go with it or not. You know how many people would rather follow a cult leader, like long as it's not labeled a cult, than to follow a community leader? They'll follow a cult leader faster than they'll follow a community leader. Right? You know how you know that? Look how many people fill up in the goddamn church. Look how many people fill up in the church to talk about nothing, to sing about nothing, to praise nothing. Look how many people in the church. Now, let you say to them same people, look, we need to get the community together. We need to start doing for ourselves. We need to, break away from these people and just focus on us as a community and whatnot and the betterment of ourselves. These niggas ain't going to be with that, but they with some church, though. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? They with some church. Right? They with some religion. Tell me I'm wrong. You go to them people and you say, okay, let's stop tearing up the neighborhood. Let's cut out the niggas gangbanging. Let's just form a community and we separate over here. This is how we gonna live as a people. We gonna live we ain't trying to be amongst the black people and whatnot. We trying to do our own thing because niggas just want to go to church and be damn degenerates and just be in the philosophy of the beast. Yeah, this is what rules their lives. This is why their neighborhoods look like slums and the niggas got gangs everywhere and the girls are fox and whores and doing everything because they believe in a philosophy. They believe in a philosophy. That's why they're like that. They believe in a philosophy that, I'm my own God, or, God loves everybody, God understands, I can be a degenerate, I could be a spot and a slut and a whore. I could do all these things in the name of this cult believing, this occult believing, which is really Luciferian and satanic, where you can come as you are. And you're going to be accepted. There is no law. There is no order. There is no judgment. There is no code of conduct. There's nothing to better yourself. Mentally better yourself. Physically better yourself. Soulfully better yourself. There is nothing. It's just come as you are. That's a cult. That is a cult. That's a cult. See, the Republic, you got to get your shit together. We ain't taking. We don't want people in here who can't keep it in. We ain't one of these dudes. We don't. I don't care. If you paying dues or not. If you bugged out and you something wrong with you, we want you gone. If you ain't really with this community, because this is an ongoing thing. This is the life we live in. If you ain't with that, if you got that philosophical mindset that it is what it is and YOLO and all them philosophical. Go out the door with that philosophical garbage because you need to follow a cult. In fact, the American pop culture, American culture out here, as you know it, though a lot of y'all think y'all free, American culture out here, American pop culture, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is really a bunch of brands, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and, you know, Great Adventure. It's really nothing but a bunch of brands and corporations and a big ass theme park, which was with the Beast Made America, right? You know, that American, you know, certain kinds of rock music and all this stuff they put. This is nothing but cult of personality. This whole American society is nothing but a cult of personality. This is why they'll make certain celebrities, basketball players, actors, people who are not important. People who are not important in the world. You see, they'll make those people important and they deify these people because that's what occult systems do. They deify people who are not worthy of deification. They raise people who are not worthy to be raised in a belief system because that's part of the belief system. You see, they praise things and people that are not worthy of praise because that's part of the belief system. That's part of the belief system. Do as thou wilt, come as you are. Don't y'all see it's all the same thing? It's all the same thing. Do as thou wilt, come as you are, the damn black reverend in the church. Or the white man. See, that's all that is. That's all that is. You see? And a lot of people don't like to hear that. And to some point, it even disturbs a lot of the so-called black women. Because the black woman don't know that she's in a cult every day she gets up and goes out into the three-dimensional world. She's in a cult of personality. She's in a cult of personality every time she get out and go out and go into the world. You know? The fake identity she got to put on, the things that she should appear and like, the things that entertain her, the things she allowed to fill her time, the things that she think about, or the nonsense she thinks about. Same thing with the so-called black man. The fact that he has nothing going through his mind. All he got is going through his mind is a bunch of beliefs, man. That's all, no thought whatsoever. This the most our people done thought in years. Since I started the Republican intellect going, this the most our people done thought in years. Tell me I'm wrong. To the point where I done sparked people to start trying to turn their platforms into so-called intellectual or critical analysis, think tanks and whatnot. Certain people on YouTube, that's because of intellect. That didn't exist 12 years ago when I started. None of these think tanks, everybody was black power. Everybody was on some cult stuff. Everybody was on some cult stuff before I hit the scene. Everybody. Nobody was on no critical thinking or no intellectual nothing. All these niggas was on some cult shit. Raw and uncut. And they want to turn around and talk about I'm a cult lead. All of these niggas is on some cult shit. Raw and uncut. I'm the only one that's not. That's the kicker. I'm the only one that's not. Because again, nothing I teach is based in belief. All the stuff that come out their mouth is based in belief. Everything. All these spiritual niggas, all these Hamitic niggas, all these Kamitic niggas, all these Africanic niggas, all these Masonics, and all these guys. All these guys. All their stuff is based in belief. Intellect is the last and only thing, the one and only thing that is based in thinking. That is the mindset of a community leader, because a community leader gets people to commune mentally. How do you commune and ultimately communicate? Through the mind. Through the mind. Through the mind. That's how you come together mentally and commune, and thus build a community. You commune when you are one together in mind, in alignment together. You see, in the cult system, in the cult of personality, in this society, they don't want you to come into alignment with thinking minds. That's competition. They want you to be your own gods, your own individuals, be moved by happiness and sadness and all this other three-dimensional BS. Because they control that. They know that to break people apart individually, mentally, break people down to get them to believe things, to get them to practice that occult teaching that you practice every day in your life, whether you know it or not. These people in the 3D world, they practice occult teaching, occult thinking, or occult belief every day of their life. So they don't even, and they're not even aware of it. Because that's the world of the three dimensions. That's the three-dimensional world. That is the three-dimensional world. It is the cult of personality. It is the cult of belief, or should I say, the image of personality. Or should I say, the cult of image. I'm not going to call it personality because these people here got no real personality. They got images. You know what I mean? They got images that they trying to uphold. They ain't got no real personality. The cult of images that they try to uphold. And they get you to be like that as well. They get you to be fake and phony as well. That's what that is. And then you start to really think that this is how you think. This is how you really are, how your mind is. Your mind is not like this. Your mind is not like this. Your mind is like this now because you are caught on the frequency of this three-dimensional state. You're caught in this three-dimensional state of confusion and chaos. That's why the black man is messed up. The black woman is messed up. That's why she's confused, indecisive, bugged out. You understand? Don't know right from left. And I'm not getting down on the sisters for that. If they don't know no better, but once you know better, and you know not to feed into happiness and sadness, a.k.a. Lucifer and Satan, a.k.a. good and evil, a.k.a. positive and negative, and all the polarities, bipolar opposite, or as they say in your clinical psychology, bipolarism. You turn on 1 minute, you turn off the next minute, turn on 1 minute, turn off the next minute. You're supposed to stay on continuously, man, and think it forward into the future. See, that's what they don't want. That's what they don't want. Truth of the matter is, this society is based in occultism. This society is based in occultism. And the occultism is based in belief. The image that they can craft for you to follow. The image that they can craft as in a.k.a. witchcraft. The craft that they can set up and get you to believe, the illusion that they create. That's an illusion, man. Happiness and sadness. Spiritually watered down belief, man. But like I said, there's always something higher than that. We go into the highest state, and we're going to keep going because there's eternal states of greater dimensions in which we're going to. And again, that ain't no damn belief, man. That's a reality. Our minds will take us there collectively. Our minds, unimentally connected, will take us there in the name of Amen collectively. Amen is not a god. Amen is a race. I never taught you that Amen was some god, that the stupid people who are caught in belief, the people who are used to following cultism, a.k.a. Christianity, a.k.a. Islam, a.k.a. Judaism, these people who follow these three things, these three belief systems, that's cult teaching. That's cult teaching. You see? That's cult teaching. Distractive teaching. Babylonian, Greco-Babylonian Roman teachings. You see? Creating altars and personalities, creating altars. Notice I said altars as an alter ego. You see? Because that's all it is when they telling you, oh, you sad 1 minute, you happy the next minute. That's alter egos that these beasts are creating in you, man. That's alter egos. And you think that the alter ego in which has been installed in you, you think that's how you really think, and that's not how you think. That's not natural to you. You got to realize that we are natural people that have adopted the unnatural ways of unnatural people. That's why we are in the condition we in. But as soon as we become those natural people again, those natural thinkers again, and start to think forward and beyond this three-dimensional circle into the fourth dimension, then you're going to start to see things change. We got to take hold of ourselves mentally. We got to drop the beliefs because that is a cult. That is cultism. That is cultism. They really want you to follow occultism in the society. They want you to be in a cult. They just want you to be in an approved cult. They want you to be in a cult that they approve of. You know what the cults are that they approve of in the society, that the government approves of? The ones who come get that 501c3 charter. That's the cults that they approve of. When you set up your religion as a business, Or should I say you set up as a 501c3 and you don't have to pay taxes. You going on record with them saying that, yeah, I am going to practice occultism and I don't want to pay taxes and I don't want to be labeled a cult that is unlicensed. I don't want to be considered an unlicensed cult. Because that's really what it is when you sign up for that 501c3, that you're now a licensed cult. That's all that is. You see, that's why, like I said, these people that's, out here teaching and whatnot, and whatever the case may be, and God and the devil, and you ain't linked up with them people, they gonna call you a cult. They gonna call you a cult. Hell, like I said, one or two times I've been called a cult leader, but I ain't trying to get nobody to believe nothing. How are you a cult leader if you teaching the people? If you teaching reality? If you ain't lying to the people, if you are not getting them to believe anything, if you are if you're just applying logic to get them thinking collectively. That's community leaders. That's what community leaders do. They bring their people together in union, in communion. They bring their people together in union, in mental union, and unification. That's what the Jews do. Italians do. That's what all these people try to do on the three-dimensional level when it comes to nationality and religion and all that. They try to bring their people together on some form of ideology. Sometimes they'll use religion as a form of the belief as a form to bring the people together on an ideology. That's what Elijah Muhammad and them tried to do. They use Islam as an ideology, or they tried to use Islam as an ideology to bring the people together. However, at the end of the day, what trapped them off and what messed them up and what ended the Nation of Islam is that at the end of the day, the foundation was still religious. The foundation was still religious. That's why when Wallace D. Muhammad was able to come up and do what he did and take over the Nation of Islam and turn it into some damn Sunni farm, some Sunni Muslim, watered down Sunni Muslim farm, some Sunni Muslim organization, some farm organization for these damn Arabs, which really I'm pretty sure they was funding Wallace. Someplace where they can go and then get some black women. You see, join up in they Bilal temple. That's why the nation fell, because they, like I said, they tried to see, the messenger and them tried to see Islam as an ideology. But unfortunately, like I said, you can't turn a religion into an ideology. You can't turn a belief or a philosophy, I should say, into an ideology. You cannot. You cannot. That's why Elijah Muhammad stayed away from the whole, other than the word Islam and Allah and the Bible, he tried to stay away from the whole Orthodox Islam thing, because he didn't want people to adopt Islam as a belief. You see, that's all they had at the time. He didn't want people adopting Islam as a religious belief. He wanted them to adopt it as an ideology to make themselves better. You see, so that they can improve themselves, personally improve themselves and mentally improve themselves. But like I said, at the end of the day, it was still a religion. And that's why that happened the way it did when he passed on. Because it wasn't based, after a while, you handed the mantle over to people who are still based in belief and not in thinking. That's why they had no problem converting over and leaving the Nation of Islam doctrine behind and joining so-called Sunni Islam. More philosophy. To take you from an ideology to a philosophy. That's what Wallace D. Muhammad's job was. To put black people back in the circle of philosophy. He might well let niggas back to Christ before you lead them into the damn Sunni Islam, Orthodox Islam. You might well took niggas back to Jesus. You see, same thing with these Pan-Africanists with all these gods, all these Oshungu and Ogun and all this. That's nothing but religion, man. Spiritual, nah, man. When you start hearing about multiple the saints and prophets and all this other stuff, man, listen, man. That's all nothing but multi-deism, man. A whole bunch of focus on beings or things that don't make that have nothing to do with the ultimate goal, which is to move forward collectively as a people, mentally as a people, because in that's your divinity. That's your divinity. That's your transformation into being upper and higher being. Your ability to cooperate and move forward collectively on an ideology, on an ideal. Collectively together, getting past the emotional stuff, getting past the philosophical stuff, getting past the positive and negative crap. Being here and staying here and transmitting into the next realm because it is a necessity that we're here. We are a necessity here because who the hell else is thinking here but us? Who the hell else is thinking but us? That's why we are going to be a necessity, and we are a necessity here. You tell me, who's thinking but us? I'll wait. And don't tell me about these niggas in the conscious community. They ain't thinking about nothing. They believe us. These are niggas walking around with COVID masks on their face. They're still talking about Africa. They not even dealing with the future, man. So these people are part of that cult mindset too, man. They part of that cult mindset too. All that occultism, national, all that nonsense, man. That's all occultism, man. That's all occultism. And again, that's where cults come from. That's where cults come from. People trying to push beliefs on people. People trying to push beliefs. You see? And beliefs are obsolete. They're never going to teach their people the truth, the real truth. See, that's my job. That's my job. That's why YouTube wanted to make sure that where I went from 20,000 followers on YouTube, people listening to, I went down to maybe 500 or 600 followers. That shows you the potency of the message. Anytime they try to bury 5 channels, and you got all kinds of stuff on YouTube, you got all these so-called pro-blacks talking against the white man. You don't hear me talking about that. I'm talking about uplifting the bright man and the bright woman. Logical things. Real things. Things that are going to raise us. Only we can raise ourselves. The white man can't raise you. But these people and these philosophical belief systems, these cult systems are telling you that black and white is the problem. The white man is the devil. They against us and we against. Nah, man. Only us. Like I said, whether all that's true or whatever the case may be, it don't matter. We don't deal with truth and we don't deal with lies because truth and lies create belief. We deal with reality. The ultimate person, the ultimate personification of us is a work in progress. We got to keep going. We got to constantly be working to move forward into the 4th dimension, graduating on our level to the upper dimension. See, the people that get cut off in this world, the people that die early, the people that lose their lives, the people that fade out, these are the people who are still caught in that philosophy or that occultist mindset, that magnetic occultist mindset of the 3-dimensional world. Those people that revolve on good, bad, positive, negative, happiness, sadness. We don't revolve on that. We don't revolve on that 2-dimension. The mentalists, we don't revolve on that. We don't revolve on emotion. We don't revolve on polarity. We don't revolve on belief. That's for the cult system. We're not part of a cult system. Amen is us. So if you ever want to hear these people talk, oh, they believe in some God named Amen, some unseen God named Amen. No, Amen is us. Amen is us. We are realizing that Amen is us, and Amen will continue to be us as we are evolving. We are Amen in evolution. We are in school, and we are about to graduate soon. That's what we teach. This is a reality. Evolution is a reality. These people in the cult system, they ain't teaching that. They want to teach you belief. They want to still keep bouncing back and forth between God and the devil, angels, saints. See, it's all the same thing. They just change the names around. See, it all revolves around the same answer. It's never about how you can make yourself better as a real person starting from now and going forward collectively. It's never about that. It's always deflecting the energy onto somebody else, be it Jesus, be it Allah, be it Jehovah, be it the devil, be it whatever. That's what it's about. It's always about deflecting your energy that could be put into making you better, making your seed better, making your children better, raising up in the name of Amen, which is us. raised into our higher self. See, that's work that's spoken against. No, you got to put your energy into the philosophy and the belief of a spook God, of an unseen God, or put your fear in a devil. Even I put that in proper perspective of what that really is. That's a cult system here. The God and devil, the Luciferian satanic cult system here that supports God and the devil. That, again, which a lot of you so-called women are on. A lot of you women are part of, are caught in that. The whole thing, we got to free our women and our men from that circle system of philosophy, that circle system of belief, that circle system of positive and negative. That system of spirit and spirit and body. You see, without the mind, spirit and body. They don't want your mind. They want your spirit and body. What do I mean by that? When I say they want your spirit and body, I mean just that. They want you to be zombies. They want you to believe in Christ and whatever else they tell you to believe in and whatever else they can fill you with. They don't want your mind. They just want your body and your spirit, your physical body and the energy that they direct through your physical body without the mind. That's what they want. And that's why if you look in a lot of these churches, these niggas look like zombies, man. They be in there singing their hymns and all this other stuff, especially in the Catholic Church and in the Jehovah's Witnesses. These niggas look like zombies in there, man. Because the beast got their body and their spirit. I'm not even going to say their soul been gone. They soul gone, if they ever had one. 9 times out of 10 they didn't. They're just a bunch of damn zombies. They just all spirit energy. They all filled with this, as they say, the spirit of Jesus or some damn demon. You see, they filled with the spirit of some demon on them, some liberated whatever philosophy the beast put on him, or he used his black minions to put on you at the damn church. You see, and that's what got the women messed up. That's what got the men messed up. Because they not dealing with nothing based in reality. We done had hundreds of years of a bunch of philosophy and belief. Nothing that was dealing with reality. We was not dealing with the Most High, which is us in connection with each other. We was not dealing with the Most High, the most continuous, as a reality in connection with us. We was not. What we was dealing with was some God by proxy. Some God by proxy. That's what we was dealing with. Some super unseen power by proxy. Some spirit energy that never worked in favor of us. You see, that's what we was dealing with. And the church and the mosque and the temple, that's all we've been dealing with, was a bunch of fake spirit energy that kept us happy, that kept us sad. And like I said, the beast keeps that going, man, throughout all these frequencies and these outlets, on these television shows, on these radio shows. They're always about trying to make you happy and make you sad. Nah, man. Those are the people that enter the cults, people who are seeking happiness. I don't want people coming to me seeking happiness, because I ain't got no goddamn happiness for you. And I ain't got no sadness for you. I got reality for you. I got reality for that ass. We'll be right back. You know, black people's lives in this country is based on occultism. The way black people live, they don't even know it. Black people don't know that the way of life or the way of existence they live in America is based on occultism. They believe in Christ. The vast majority of them believe in a Jesus and a Christian system or an occultist system. Or if they say they don't believe in it, they just atheists. That's part of an occultism again. Because why? Because their beliefs. Their beliefs. They're not based in anything. That's what cult teaching is. Cult teaching is based in nothing but beliefs. Beliefs are anybody can have a belief, and a belief is like an opinion. You see, a belief is like an opinion. Anybody, you can believe whatever you want to believe. It ain't about what you believe. It's what direction you go in. It ain't about what you believe. You believe whatever you want to believe, but what direction are you going in? See, belief keeps you directionless. Belief keeps you directionless, and it keeps you, what's the word I want to say? It makes you delusional. Belief makes you delusional. Circular ways of thinking. Positives and negatives, happiness and sadness are states of delusion. Happiness and sadness, aka Lucifer and Satan, they're nothing but stages, they're nothing but delusions of grandeur. And this is what black people follow in the society. You see, you got these niggas to actually believe that a white man is coming out of the clouds to save them. They go to church and praise that. They can claim that, oh, this Christ figure is black. They don't believe. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know how you know it's a lie? Because look at how they treat white people according to how they treat themselves. They treat white people a lot better than they treat their own kind. So they really believe that a black man is going to crack the clouds and come? No, they're not. Because they don't see a black man in their mind. That's too much of a stretch in their belief system to think of a black man who would be a Messiah or a Savior. When they say Christ in the churches, they mean white Jesus. The one who gives the black woman liberty, a.k.a. the white man. The one who gives the black man liberty, a.k.a. beta maleism. You see, to be a zero in society, to go to school for nothing, to chase a bunch of degrees that basically lead to his job, and when he feel like firing you, he gonna fire your black ass, and then you got all them loans that you got to pay him back. See, that's black people, the ones, they live in that cult of imagery where, you know, they care about getting a $100,000 car, living in $1 million house, you know, all that stuff. That's their life. But it's all a sham and it's an illusion because they don't own the house and the car. Like I said, they got to pay probably notes or whatever on it, but it depreciates in value. All the things that you accumulate in this three-dimensional system is based in a cult mindset. It is all based in a cult mindset, an occultist mindset, a satanic and Luciferian mindset. Because what is the satanic and Luciferian mindset when it comes to money? Rich and poor. Rich and poor. Poor represents Satan. Rich represents Lucifer. So I told you before that all see Lucifer and Satan all within the doctrine of cultism or occultism, all goes hand in hand with everything, even the money. Your way of thinking, your happiness, your sadness, all that is wrapped up in occultism. Y'all don't even know that. You think this is natural to be like this, the way we are. We think it's natural. We think this is our behavior. This ain't who we are. We serpentine, man. The elect, who we really are in the fourth dimension, and the white man know that. Because there's going to get a time when we're going to get tired of fucking around. You understand that? When we want to really break out of these circles. And we want to attach to who we really are. Well, y'all forgot. Because y'all been in la-la land in the three-dimensional world acting like a bunch of subservient coons to the damn white man and his three-dimensional false images of y'all as black people, as Negroes, and going back and forth in his black and white fantasy world. Going back and forth worshiping his Jesus Christ fake image. Meanwhile, he ready to hang you on a cross. But we all Christians. That's nothing but a bunch of psyop. That's nothing but, you know what psyop is? Psychological psyop, occultist teaching to play tricks on you so-called black people. Your whole way of life is like a damn script. And the damn white man wrote the parts, and y'all playing out the parts in this three-dimensional world. That's occultism. That's being in a cult. American pop culture, when you niggas roll out of bed every morning and do nothing with your life, and smoke damn weed all day, and watch and worry about the football game, or when you go into the strip club, or when you go into work, and what time you got to be home. That's all occultism, man. That's a cult that you in. That's a ritualistic cult way of existence that you follow. You women, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you might go to the gym, you might go to the club, go to the bar after work, whatever. Spend some time with you, talk on the phone with your best friend, BS around. That's all occultism, man. Nothing is being done to exceed that circle of belief, that illusion. Nothing is being done to exceed that. You just stay in the same bubble, in the same circle. That's occultism. Your life does not change. The minds of your people do not change. See, that works off belief. You see? That works off belief. For all the so-called knowledge that the so-called black man and black woman got on life and things like that, why don't they ever really accomplish nothing in life? For real, for real. For real, for real. You understand that? All the knowledge, all the philosophy, because that's all that really come out of black people's mouths in this society, both the males and the females, is some watered down philosophy they got from the white man. That's how they sum their life up. It is what it is, good and God and the devil, you understand? YOLO, you only live once. They live their life based on a whole big occult scene that the white man put up for them. And like I said, he's been crafting this image since the early 1900s. Because again, you didn't see the so-called black woman like this she wasn't like this how she is now. The so-called black man wasn't like this how he was now. So again, that occult system was being set up for you in the beginning of the century. So now they're trying to re-strengthen it in the year 2000, and going forward in the 21st century. So really, they're trying to reestablish you in a cult. They're trying to reestablish black men in a cult. What's the cult for the so-called black man? Homosexuality, beta maleism, worshiping the image of the so-called black woman. And when I say worshiping the image of the so-called black woman, I mean the image that they gave the black woman, which is the blonde hair, the wanting to be like a white woman, a thought, a slut, a mammy. That's what the image they want you so-called black men to worship and look up to and protect. Protect the image that they have projected on the so-called black woman, a false image. A baby mama, a slut, a whore, a bed wench. This is what you simp niggas are talking about protecting and talking about this is our mother goddess, our sea star, an image that the beast put on her. That's not even really her. But she has let it become her through her belief. She has let it become her through her belief. She has accepted that through her belief. Just like you accepted what you have become, which is a nigger black man, a coon, a sambo, against your own kind, a coward. You understand? This is what you become under the cult system here in this society. You understand? You so-called black people talk about so big on talking about cult leaders. You don't even know you was raised in a cult system, a systematic cultish home. You was raised in a damn Luciferian satanic home. You see? You don't even realize that. Anything where, and like I said, it's not your fault y'all didn't know, but you got to speak on the reality of what it is. If your so-called black mother raised you by yourself, and she raised you, and she laid up with a nigga, and she just felt like, oh, well, this nigga, I don't need him no more, I just go get me another nigga, I'm tired of him, or I laid up with this one, she's practicing Luciferianism. That's a cult teaching. See, they're not going to say that you're in a physical cult, as in labeling themselves. They just make all the society like a cult. You follow what I'm saying? They just make all society like a cult. So that way you don't know you're getting cult teaching, cult beliefs, things that work against your natural state of being, things that work against your logical way of thinking. They don't want you to know that. So what they do is they just introduce these occultist teachings. They introduce them into society. They push more occult teaching through entertainers, through singers, through actors, all the people you like. They push the cult teaching through them. They don't need the reverend. They don't need the ministers and the imams. They let them rock and do their thing with the old niggas that want to go to church and want to go to the mall, wherever you want to do the mosque. They let them do their thing and push the cult teaching to them. You know what I'm saying? But for the young, the Luciferian satanic teaching, everything you hear from the music you hearing, that liberated black female music you hearing, that thug nigga mentality music you hearing, that's all a part of the cultism, man. Because that's the black man's culture today. Listening to monkey music, smoking weed all day, being a zero. The black female, her mindset is just basically trying to fight off boredom with happiness. Going back and forth, being absent-minded. You know, being one of these where did they take you people. Blonde hair on top of her head, worshiping the image of the white woman. So again, you mark that all across the board. That's all black females in this society and black males on some level, the low level ones. And that's the mass majority, 99 damn percent. You might well say in the 90 percentile. That's the mass majority. They don't even know they receiving cult teachings and that this society is a cult. They don't even know that. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just doing me. Yeah, I know, you doing as thy will. You see? That's what you're doing. You don't even realize you in a cult. You think these thoughts are yours. Let me take a call. 832.
Yeah, you just mentioned the monkey music you're talking about, and I've noticed like a little bit of the new hip hop and stuff. They're still talking about being dope dealers and selling cocaine and stuff, and I'm just like, isn't that played out? Like, how many decades in a row are you gonna just make songs about selling drugs? Like, I don't even know people that's still really doing that. I guess they still do it, but it's not even. It's like played out. But it's just
the new
force you back into
well, the new part of it is not just taking drugs, but take drugs, pop molly, thoughts of suicide. That's coming next. Next in the music is, have you ever thought about being with another man? Things, all that's coming in the music. You know what I'm saying? The women, I kissed a girl, I think I like it. Or they tried to get Janelle Monáe to push lesbianism on Pink is the new, whatever the hell she was talking about. She out and out lesbian and a pansexual. So, they pushing all of this. And unfortunately, a lot of our people are getting caught up in this. The spell on that, the programming on it is so strong, it's so heavy. Like I said, it's going to take strong mental power to move and raise above that. This is the cult teaching right here. This whole society is based on cult teaching.
Yeah, and it is very strong. I guess being a little bit older, it doesn't affect me in any way, but I see how it affects like the teenagers and the young in their 20s and stuff like that. But the funny thing about it to me is people that are older don't really say anything about it. They're like silent, I try to tell people about it, but I'm, in my 30s, I'm not like an elder, and I see the elders, they don't have anything to say about it.
Because they lost, brother. They lost. They don't know what's going on. The elders, a lot of them, they grew up thinking, I believe in Jesus. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna take my daughter to school. I'm gonna spend time. I'm gonna go to work and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, that's a Luciferian satanic system, man. You know what I'm saying? Going to work for the beast. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be doing your own thing. Try to get your own thing going. I know you gotta do what you gotta do in the society, but you shouldn't want to serve the beast, man. You shouldn't want to. You should be trying to do something else, and go into these school systems so your children can get indoctrinated with all kind of madness. Which is now, it's nothing wrong with being gay and lesbian, transgender. It's nothing wrong with that. This is what your children are being indoctrinated with. And then when they come home bugged out of their mind and whatnot, and then, like I said, the so-called black woman, she can't combat that because the damn black woman, she bored out of her mind. She's sitting around, she's sitting around watching L.A. Housewives, Basketball Wives. She don't want to deal with children. Go in your room, play with your video games, get out my face, or go. I call you when dinner comes, and dinner is basically calling for some takeout food or something. Now this is the reality. Everybody overweight as hell. You understand? They just sitting around talking about nothing. Nothing. No kind of higher thought process. No kind of extended direct thought process focusing on the most high, the most continuous. That's not in their mind frame. Satanic Luciferian system. It's a cult system, which again pushes belief in the Luciferian satanic system. That's what they pushing, which the AKA the Judeo-Christian system here. The Judeo-Christian system is the AKA Luciferian satanic system here, and black people follow it. And if you try to tell black people that, they look at you like you crazy, no matter how much you show them. So they gone already, man. They going. That's the only thing you can do with the mass majority of these people. Just disregard, man. Disregard. When they go on that mind frame, like, disregard, man. When they on that mind frame, the liberated black woman, all that, disregard. Man. The nigga man who still want to be a gangbanger, a thug, or just be a regular out here where the day take you, nigga, disregard, man. They spoils for the beast, man.
Yeah, well,
right?
What you just described was very accurate for everything. Like, I used to think that certain things were just relegated to a certain area, maybe just in my city. You know, just the more I travel, and everybody's exactly the same every single place you go. Like, just carbon copies, and what you're describing as a cult. That's the only explanation I can see. Because it doesn't matter what city you go to, they're all the same.
And then the latest thing is with a lot of these young black men, the thing was, and it still is now, a lot of these guys clicked up in gangs. That ain't nothing but Luciferian and Satanism. The gangs, that's nothing but Luciferian. I ain't scared to say it. I don't give a damn. It ain't nothing but, that's all Luciferian and low-level Luciferian and Satanism, all these gangs. That's what that is. Bloods, Crips, that's all that is. What that ain't got nothing to do with no damn God or no Jesus. And even if they say it's God, Jesus, that's still Lucifer and Satan, man. All them niggas is clicked up in that. They up under the Luciferians. They all clicked up in that whole, you know, they low level. You understand? They all clicked up in that whole, you know, Christian, Judeo, Luciferian, satanic, you know, thing on a low level. And they live that cult mindset. They in a cult. That's why I said they hood culture. You ever hear these niggas say hood culture? You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Or niggas, like, you know, these niggas in the hip-hop, yo, doing this for the culture. You ever heard them say, whenever you hear niggas talking about for the culture, and they're talking about the satanic and Luciferianism. That's what they're talking about. For the culture, you know, the culture, the black culture. There's no such thing as black culture. That's Satanism, man. That's all. These Negroes are following the belief system of the so-called white man, man. That's all.
Yep. That's all I had. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, brother. All right. I'll take one more break and take a little pause for the chorus, and we'll be right back. Let me see what I want to pull up. Take a break with. Something nice. Freddie. And we're back. They're trying to introduce cult teaching to you every day. From the time you're born into society, they're introducing cult teaching to you. See, a cult leader does not want thinkers in their community, in their organization. A cult leader does not want thinkers in his organization. A cult leader wants believers. Why does a cult leader want believers? I'm going to tell you exactly why. See, because a lot of these guys who were cult leaders were guys that were set up by the government, like your Jim Jones and all these other people. Like, these guys are all set up. Like, a lot of these guys are set up. And the reason why these guys thrive on a cult belief or belief system is because everything here is promoted as belief. So let's just say you get somebody and you're going to recruit people on the basis of Jesus Christ and Christianity. That's not hard to do because that's what is in the society, is fundamental belief in Jesus Christ and Christianity. So it's nothing for people to get caught up into that circle of thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing for people to get caught in that because that's what you came up understanding and learning or knowing or thinking you understood it. But you were being indoctrinated with cult teaching. Just like the black man, y'all being indoctrinated with cult teaching right in front of your eyes in the damn school system, where they telling you young black boys it's okay to have young black boys be effeminized and whatnot and embrace homosexuality, and you got these niggas, you know, who sacrificing their children from the NBA and all that, Dwayne Wade and these people, they getting up here and they parading Will Smith and them, they basically handing their children over to that madness. And this is a philosophy that they want to promote in the minds of black people, trying to get young black race homosexuality as a normal thing. That is unnatural. Anything that a cult teaches. All cult teachings are unnatural teachings from the foundation. All cult teachings, because all cult teachings are based in belief. Anything that gets you to believe something without critical analysis or thinking about it is not for you. It's not for you. It's working against your natural way of, your natural train of thought, which is to think, which is to scrutinize. That's why everything I've given through Mentellect by way of Amen has always been a train of thought, a continuous flow. You've never heard me say one thing one time and then say something else next. It's always been the same steady train of thought. Now, I might give some more evolved transmission on certain things, but everything that I've always been giving y'all has always had the foundation based in logic. That's how y'all can sit up here and y'all can acknowledge what I'm saying is real, because you feel the foundation of it is based in logic. And anything where the foundation is based in logic, that means anything that grows from it is going to be logical. You see, you can't grow philosophy from logical foundation. You can't. You cannot grow a philosophy from a logical foundation, but you can grow a philosophy from a philosophical foundation. That's why you're going to keep seeing cults and cult leaders popping up. That's Christians, Muslims, Israelites, and all these other, because that's what is in the society. That's the foundation of the society. Cultism or occultism is the foundation of the society. Belief is the foundation of this society. You got people that actually believe Christopher Columbus discovered America. But even though it's people here already. You see, they actually believe that. They actually believe this country is named, America is named after some guy named Amerigo Vespucci. Nobody questions the fact that don't nobody know who the hell this guy is, or what his birthday is, or why his birthday is not celebrated in this country that's supposed to be named after him. Nobody thinks like that. See, that's what Mentellect does. That's what this extended train of thought does. Nobody's questioning happiness and sadness. We are, because we know it's a trigger to keep people in a three-dimensional or in a two-dimensional state of possession. So you depressed 1 minute, you happy the next. You depressed 1 minute, you happy the next, and you're not moving in an even tone and an even syncopated transmission, a rhythmic syncopated transmission. That's how you're supposed to move, and that's how we're going to move as the elect. Our people are going to be transitioning out of this occult mind frame, man. A lot of our people, especially our women, man, they're gonna have to evolve out of this occult mind frame, man. This cult mind frame that's here, that's a part of this American pop culture. They're gonna have to evolve out of that. See, we ain't gonna have no time for that. That will not register in the fourth dimension. All this positive and negative, happiness and sadness, good and bad, God and the devil, all that BS is gonna stay right within the third dimensional realm. It's gonna stay right beneath us. You see, the brightness is going to be just that, reality. The brightness of full-on transformational and evolutionary thought. That's what this community is based on. That's what Mentellect is based on. So I can never be called no cult leader at all. I don't even fit the description. I'm not teaching no God, no devil. I'm not teaching nothing that cannot logically be thought out and be seen if you are a logical thinker. I'm always going to know myself, and my people will always know me as a community leader, not a cult leader, a community leader that is bringing together the minds of chosen or elect people, advanced thinkers, to move forward into the future, to produce future versions of yourself, but to walk into future and evolved versions of yourself and produce children on that same realm. That comes by way of a fourth dimensional time of space, an extended time and space in which we're walking into as the elect. And you're seeing many fall by the wayside in this three-dimensional realm. That's reality. That's evolution. Mental evolution. Certain people are going to cross into the next realm of that state of evolution. Certain people are not. That's reality. That's not a belief. I have never given my people belief, and I never will. I will never get nobody to believe or want people to believe some story I'm telling them. We don't have to do that. That's when we start getting into the occultism and into the three-dimensional, and that's when the transmission breaks. The only way this frequency is going to stay strong is if I continuously focus on this transmission of Amen, the necessity of it the extension of it, not whether I like it or dislike it or I don't feel like this way. I don't let the ways of this world dictate how I feel. Because I don't have no feelings about this world. And that's how my people have to be. That's how my followers have to be. We don't have no feelings about nothing that goes on here because none of this stuff is real any goddamn way. It's all a psychological mind, I want to say a mind F without saying a mind F. I don't want to say the word F. But you know what I mean. All this is constantly going in rotation by way of the beast, man. And our people have to make sure we don't get caught up in that. Even if our people get caught up in it for a minute, you got to realize it for what it is and break that shit, man. Break it, let it go. Because it's easy for our women, especially our women, to get caught up in that because our women work off of emotion now. And this being that they caught it still in this three-dimensional realm, they work off of emotion. So being that they following the female, they following the females of the society, the beast woman and all of them who work off of emotion. The so-called black woman, being that she's a black woman, she works off emotion too. She works off of happiness and sadness. She don't realize that this is just a low frequency that is passing through the atmosphere. And unfortunately, y'all get caught in it. The beast keeps this happiness and sadness, Luciferian Satanism energy going, this bipolarity going, which makes y'all mentally unstable. And if you are mentally unstable, you cannot be of Amen. You cannot be of the fourth dimension. This is not for people who are mentally unstable. We have to be a balanced people. You see? We have to be a balanced people, mentally balanced, and that's what we are establishing. That's what's being established. Again, the beast don't give a damn if you pick up a gun or a bomb or something like that and talk about causing a revolution in society. They can put a revolution down like that, man. But you can't stop the evolution of the minds, man. They trying to do that, but they can't stop the evolution of the mind. That's real. Revolutions come and go. Cults, I should say. Cults come and go. You see, revolutions, cults, cultures, occultism, it comes and goes, man. It reappears again. But we are focused on the continuous. We are focused on the continuous. You see, that's all this is about, the continuous. Getting in alignment to what we are. And when we get into alignment of who we are, and when we come into ourselves and we get into alignment of who we are, then the power will raise in us, and then we will feel that sense of satisfaction because we know we're in our proper place. Then it ain't about good and bad no more. It ain't about happy and sad no more. It ain't about none of that, this philosophical, cult-like belief system that we've adopted here as so-called black people, because even calling us black people was based on Satanism and Luciferianism. All that's based on Satanism and Lucifer, calling us black people. That's based on that. So you know any philosophy they're going to give you is based on that. Any religion, any education, history, whatever they give you is going to be based on that. And it is based just on that, on cult teachings. All of this is cult teachings, which you're learning in this society. So miss me with the whole, NUBEN, I think NUBEN a cult leader. Oh, really? No, NUBEN ain't. Because NUBEN ain't going to embrace and tell you what you want to hear. NUBEN going to say the things that you don't want to hear. The things that are too much for you to think about. Too much for you to accept as reality, because that's what it is, reality. So let me go ahead and answer these questions before we get out of here. What is the difference between community leader and cult leader? The community leader leads with the mind, leads the thinking. A community leader raises people's minds. That's how you get people in commune together. You commune people mentally. So a commune or a community leader is one who gets people in alignment on the same mind frame and the same way of thinking mentally. And that takes thinking. See, a cult leader got to get you to believe something. He got to make up something to get you to push a popular cult teaching in order to get followers. See, because if left to their devices, more people will follow a cult than they will follow a community. I said this before, especially black people. Black people will follow a cult all day. That's why the churches are filled. That's why the mosques are filled. That's why the Masonic halls are filled. That's why all these places are filled up. That's why the club is filled, because the club is a goddamn cult too. You see, all that's based on occultism. All the damn concert, listening to a bunch of whack-ass music, Is this important to know? Yes, it is. Why is this important to know? Because, like I said, you have to know which side you are on. Are you in the three-dimensional, or are you moving toward the fourth? Again, this is a unilateral thing. This ain't no up and down. This is where everything starts. In the mind. Is religious system a cult system? Yes, it is. All religions, every way you live, even how you go to work, come home, and how you pay your taxes, everything. Because again, that's what lets you know this is the same thing. The religious system, the church system, it's all the same thing. You pay your taxes, all that stuff, man. It's all set up the same way, man. Systematic. Cultist, systematic form of control, right? Is government really a cult system? Yeah, this government is run like a cult system. Yeah, it is. Who you think? Because again, who controls the government? The businesses. Big businesses control the government. And big businesses control all of these things you see in television, radio, media. Everything you see is all based in what? In belief, in acting, and all these things they use to hand your imagination over. You see? What is the last one? Is this system a cult of personality or a cult of image? The cult of image. See, true personality is not discovered until you're moving toward the fourth dimension. That's when you find out who you truly are. Your persona is, as you are in alignment with Amen, you start to find what your true personality is. That's why I said from people to persons. The image is something that's crafted here, something that is made up here. The falsehood. And that's it. We're going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen, and Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. I am the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. This has been Intellect Radio. See you guys back here tomorrow at 10. Good night.
Rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Intellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, Amen, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we